Hello everybody, DJ18 here with another War Thunder video. It's been a while since I've done a video and I apologize. I've been really busy and haven't been able to get a video up as often as I would like. But today I'm bringing you a replay footage of me flying the P-51D Mustangs. And these are very iconic airplanes. You know, everybody who knows anything about military aviation or aviation in general has probably heard of this airplane. They're just legends during World War II, and they even served during the Korean War. They're good all-around fighters used by the U.S. Air Force, or U.S. Army Air Force, I should say, and they did really well. They had good kill-to-death ratios, and they had the teardrop canopy or the bubble canopy, which allowed them to have excellent view range. Now in the game, however, the P-51s are not quite as good as I was expecting, and I think a lot of people come into this game, they're like, I'm gonna get a P-51D Mustang, you know, that's a classic airplane, I'm gonna get it, and then they get to it and they're stunned on how bad it is. And the plane isn't bad once you learn how to use it, but you know, if you try to get into dogfights, you're gonna find a lot of troubles. One, it's not as maneuverable as you would expect it to be. Two is its armament. Its armament of 6 12.7mm or 50 caliber M2 machine guns just do not have the firepower at those higher tiers, the tier 4 battles, which is now what they're involved in after the last patch, to effectively take out enemy planes. So you end up in these, if you get into a dogfight, which I don't recommend, you end up in these long and drawn out dogfights generally. So it's tough to get kills in the plane, and often what will happen is when you start engaging the dogfights, the longer you're in a dogfight, the higher your chances of an enemy plane getting onto your 6 and shooting you down. So it's, you know, I don't like my dogfights lasting that long, and that's why I like the German airplanes. They have cannons. Most of the nations at these higher tiers have cannons, whether it be 20mm, 30mm, or even bigger than that. And so it's tough. It's tough to compete when you're flying in a plane that's not using cannons. And in real life, you know, they figured, the U.S. figured that the 50 cals, while not as powerful as cannons, the pilots would have more ammunition, so they would be able to stay in the air longer and actively fight longer. But in game, it doesn't help you because, well, in arcade battles anyway, I should say. In realistic battles, as they're called now, they used to be historical. I could see it. I could see, you know, having the 50 cals actually be an advantage because you don't have to reload as often, so you can stay in the air longer, and you could be shooting down more planes. But in arcade battles, which is primarily what I play, you have shorter distances before you start getting into fights, and it's you know, tough to be able to effectively shoot down enemy airplanes when using the 50s. But you know, some of the good things about the 50s is you have a lot of ammo, which I've said before. They have pretty good rate of fire, and you could fire them for a long period of time before they start to overheat, and that's really helpful. And they're pretty accurate too. So you know, if you're trying to aim for on bombers particularly, because bombers tend to stay more still than fighters do, but if you're trying to aim for vital components like engines or the ailerons or the rudder or you know, the elevator, whatever you're trying to shoot, it's they're pretty accurate, and it's pretty easy as long as the plane is staying stable to get those crit hits and take an enemy plane down. But again, when you're dogfighting planes, the generally the enemy airplane is not going to sit there and let you shoot at it. He's going to be trying to do maneuvers and prevent you from taking him down. But you know, sometimes you get those retards who just like, oh, whatever, kill me now, and they don't perform any maneuvers. But generally, what I recommend when you're flying the P-51s is stay up high and boom and zoom. So get at high altitude, dive on enemy planes, shoot them up, and zoom away before they even have a chance to react. That's the best way to play them, because they, like I said, if you try to dogfight with these things in arcade, you're gonna get chances are you're gonna be killed by another plane before you even get a chance to take out that plane that you engaged in the first place. So it's difficult, but if once you get the hang of playing it as a boom and zoom fighter, you'll find that the Mustang is a pretty cool plane. But until you get the hang of that, it's going to be very challenging and frustrating, especially since you know how good the Mustang was in real life. So that was the issue I faced. I thought this thing was going to be absolutely dominant in turn fights, dominant dogfighting, everything. But that's just not the case here, and you just have to, you know, you have to learn what it's good at, and I found it's good at doing these boom and zoom tactics. And I would not engage in any other sort of dogfighting unless it's you and that guy, and you're over friendly territory. Otherwise, don't even try and bother in a dogfight. Keep your altitude, dive on guys, look for maybe guys who are preoccupied shooting some other airplane, get on them, take them out. That's the best recommendation I can make when flying these planes. But again, like I said, once you start doing these tactics, these boom and zoom tactics, you'll find that the Mustang is are pretty fun planes. But yeah, do not expect them to be dogfighters, because they just aren't. They just, you know, they don't turn as well as a lot of the other planes, like the LA-5s, the Yak-3s, the Spitfires, the Zeros, and the BF-109s. So you're going to have a lot of trouble. So just, you know, remember that. Especially when you're facing Spitfires and Zeros, they turn really well. So boom and zoom tactics with them could turn very badly if you're not prepared for that. Because they turn really quick, so they could be on you before you're out of their gun range and take you out. So you know, make sure that you're have a good enough speed when attacking those planes, and try not to do head-ons with the Mustang. It's not going to do good at all. They're pretty. The Mustang's airframe is pretty weak. It can't take much hits, and any hits you do take, chances are it critically damaged something, whether it took out elevator, or an aileron, or a rudder, or your engine, whatever. Something is generally bound to get critically damaged, and something important, may I add, if you get shot at. So you want to try to keep these things looking pristine when you're flying them. And so yeah, head-on passes, do not attempt. Do not even try it. Yeah, sometimes you can get lucky, but those are extremely rare, and so therefore, unless you have a lot of luck and you have some lucky rabbit's foot on your desk or wherever you have your computer, I wouldn't even attempt it. I've tried it many times, and I've just learned to stay away from it, because it hardly ever ends well. And I know as a enemy fighter, when fighting a P-51, I want them to do head-ons with me, because I know I'll win, unless it's just one of those rare occasions where they do get some lucky shots in, take out your pilot, for example. But those are extremely rare, and generally, yeah, you do not attempt those at all. Boom and zoom tactics, that's what I can recommend. And hopefully, you know, this video, you watching this and me telling you some tactics will make you better at flying P-51s. If you're like me and we're very eager to get one of these planes, and then come to realize that they're not as good as you had hoped, well, then there's some hope. Hopefully this video will teach you these tactics and teach you some good things to do. Like here, I start getting in a dogfight, and yeah, it doesn't end well. Like I said, it's close to the enemy spawn point, and it's low to the ground. You can't turn, you don't have any altitude, so you can't turn that into speed, and so you're just gonna end up getting shot down like I did there. Yeah, do not try to dogfight. That was pretty stupid of me to do that. You know, but what I was doing earlier in the other P-51s is what I recommend. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the video for you guys to watch. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And I hopefully will be bringing you a lot more World of Tanks and War Thunder videos here shortly. Thanks.